Hello, hello.
Hello.
Hi. How's it going? I'm
Good.
always in here a little early, so just wanted to give some time for people to join us. Hey, Noah. Got the MedFit crew in the house.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people join early too. So
Yes. So let's get this going on Facebook Live here. Did anybody see my post in Facebook with the dog?
the pug.
Yeah.
That actually honestly had me laughing. Like I love when animals find like vegetables.
I love it. It's awesome.
Very cute.
All right, we are loading here. For some reason, a lot of people are on the internet, so I'm not sure if I'm going to able to post on Facebook. Weird. Hey, Julia. Hey, Katie.
Hello.
Hi. Trying to stream live on Facebook, and it's not quite doing it for us. So sometimes there's too many people on the internet.
Especially right now.
Yes. So, all right, I'll try one more time, and if not, unless it says it's, I don't even know if people can see it. Oop. Oop. Okay, we'll try one more time, see if this works. Hopefully. 307. Okay, all right. Hi, Margaret. Thanks for joining us.
Wouldn't miss it.
We are having so much fun here. So I am trying to see if this will, for some reason, having trouble getting this stream to Facebook, but that's okay. It's always been like that. So I'm going to get my tripod, and then just give me 1 minute and we'll get started here. Might have to just I'll just have to post on Facebook that it's not going on Facebook. So that's too bad. All right. Okay. Hi, Terry. How's it going?
Good. How about with
Thanks
you?
for joining us.
Thank
We're
you.
having lots of fun here. So
I know I'm going to miss it next week.
oh, I know. Well, we'll try to keep, the momentum going for everyone. So, so okay. All right. Well, it is top of the 11 hour. I'm just going to post on Facebook people to try to get them in the Zoom. And I can try my best to keep my hands steady here. And I can just
to go live, Dr.
Yeah, to go live on Facebook. So,
but I think I got it to work.
Oh, did you?
It says that
Are you live?
It says I am in Dr. Transformers.
You are? Oh, okay. Cool. All right.
You can see if I am.
Okay. Let's see here. I'm not sure, but that's okay. Oh, yep, you are. You're live. Awesome. Cool. Thank you. All right, you guys. Hey, Colleen, thanks for joining us. And it is Tuesday in our fabulous Stephanie, our expert registered dietitian, is here to give us some healthy stress eating hacks. So the theme is, how do we manage stress, but how do we stay safe so we can keep moving forward? So I will let Stephanie take it from here, and we are so excited to learn what you got for us this morning. So,
Yeah.
all right, go ahead.
So if you guys watched Dr. Tran talk yesterday, a little bit about kind of stress and triggers and all of that stuff, I'm going to add on to that. So we'll go into a little bit about snacking. Before I get started though, I wanted to give you guys a little bit of background. If you don't know, I am a registered dietitian with a nutrition degree. However, my first passion and love was really psychology and the brain. So my first degree in 2009, when I started CU Boulder, I loved my first psychology class that I took, and I was like, this is what I want to do. Long story short, I ended up as a registered dietitian, well, in weight loss. So I think when I first became a dietitian, I was like, how do I tie the two? Weight loss really brings together the psychology and the nutrition piece. And I think it's why I love it so much, is because the counseling component is kind of the most powerful thing. So like Dr. Tran talked about yesterday, we need to figure out our triggers and our emotional roadblocks to weight loss and why it hasn't worked before, or why we can't keep the weight off. So let's start. Maybe our day begins pretty early in the morning, and now it's 11 a.m. and we've had so many emails and some frustrations here or there that we're feeling stressed. So oftentimes when our day feels somewhat out of control, we feel stressed and we reach for a snack. Why does that happen? So stress releases cortisol, and cortisol, as we know, is our stress hormone, and it drops blood sugar levels. So leaving you looking for a snack, because now we want to quickly raise blood sugar levels to combat that quick drop. So what also do? We look for a high carb snack because our body is craving a way to quickly fix that blood sugar drop. So we reach for something that is often refined carbs. So refined carbs, white sugar, things like potato chips or cake or candy, cookies, crackers, things like that, they act more as a Band-Aid. So they calm our stress response, but for a moment, because they are combating that quick drop that we had in our blood sugar by quickly raising it. However, if we're just eating a carbohydrate, we're going to have that really quick drop again. So what do? We have to pair our macros like we've talked about before. So we have to eat something that's not only carbohydrate, but has protein and fat as well. So essentially eating only a carb would make your blood sugar drop even harder. So we need to find foods that balance our blood sugar. So that's something that has a carbohydrate. Carbohydrate has to contain fiber, a protein, and a fat. So what balances blood sugar? Fiber, fat, and protein. Now, it's really important though to keep our blood sugar stable all the time. Why? For so many reasons. One reason though is because it keeps our mood stable. So we want to eat in this pairing of macros, protein, fat, and carb all the time because we want to keep our mood stable generally all the time. So if you're taking in the right nutrients, essentially, you might be able to handle life's unavoidable pressures a little bit better. So I'm sure many of you have heard of serotonin. So it's kind of that happy chemical neurotransmitter that we think about when we think about joy, or we think about, that you often hear about serotonin, SSRIs, when people that have depression or anxiety. So it's serotonin induced chemical. So how do we make serotonin? Well, we manufacture it via certain nutrients like we do everything else. So it's essentially, what I like to consider serotonin is kind of what gets us through the day. And why is that? Is because it helps us with sleeping, eating, and digesting. So, and the weirdest thing about serotonin, although it's a neurotransmitter and we think about it being in the brain, it's most abundantly found in the stomach and in our GI tract. So how do we naturally boost our serotonin levels? Well, tryptophan, which I'm sure many of you have heard of, turkey makes you tired, or so tryptophan is actually an essential amino acid, which essential means you have to get it from your diet. Our body cannot produce it. Like non-essential amino acids, our body can produce. Essential, we have to ingest. So we have to eat things that have tryptophan to convert it and make serotonin. So where do we find tryptophan? We find it in turkey, yes. We also find it in nuts and cheese and other red meat. So the interesting thing about tryptophan is that tryptophan depletion, in a lot of research shows that it's seen in disorders like depression and anxiety. Brain levels of tryptophan are extremely low. So that kind of shows you that serotonin, tryptophan, the way we're eating it, the way we're bringing in, is having really big effects on our overall mood. So how do we do that? Well, we can do it by snacking. We can do it by our meals, but I'm going to talk to you guys about snacking. Any questions so far? No? Okay. So snacking is actually part of a healthy diet. So I know we often think about snacking as being kind of, I don't know, not a negative thing, but we think of it like it's a negative thing that we're doing, like it's a bad habit. Well, snacking is actually part of a healthy diet. So if we make it a part of our diet and think about it and plan for it, snacking is actually really powerful. It's not that realistic that as a human being with a busy life is going to be able to sit down for 3 solid meals a day. Also, there is some, thought process behind, is 3 meals even enough? Because sometimes we get so hungry leading up to those meals that we're eating anyway, and that's when it's mindless, because we go into those meals so hungry that we eat so much, bringing in more calories than if we ate maybe 150 to 250 calorie snack between our meals. We wouldn't eat as much during our meals. So with that being said, like Dr. Tran talked about as well, we need to think about the time of our day that we have these triggers, or that these stressors can bring upon mindless snacking. So for me, I'll give that example. I know that 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. are my times that I have to plan a snack. 10 a.m., I'm an early bird. I have my breakfast. 10 a.m., I am starving. And although I'm busy usually at 10 a.m., I make sure that I have my yogurt. So I plan for that yogurt with berries every morning at 10 a.m. after my breakfast. Obviously, the weekend's different because I sleep in, but that 10 a.m. yogurt, because I generally will work out during lunch. And if I don't have enough energy before my workout's going to suffer. I'm not going to have the energy to perform. And then I'm not going to be able to have the energy to perform after for the second half of my day for work. So eating right after that, my lunch and then my 3 p.m. snack, because if I don't have that 3 p.m. snack, I want dinner by 4:30, starving, eat a whole big dinner, but then I'm hungry again at 7 when I should stop eating for the night. So I plan for my 10 a.m. snack and my 3 p.m. snack. So that very planning mindfulness of including snacks as part of our diet. Also, the thing I want to say is, I say it's mindless snacking. It's not that it's necessarily a bad thing. It's a bad thing when we don't have a portion size set out for us. So if mindless snacking means you have a half of a cup of almonds measured out in a baggie and you're just munching on them through the hour, I don't know that I would consider that mindless. Mindless to me is grabbing the whole bag of almonds and just powering through. Now you're 700 calories later and you've only had a cup of almonds, which isn't really that much food. So I think when we think about snacking, if it's not part of our day, that's where we run into trouble. So what should we snack on? So I'm going to talk about, I feel like Noah mentioned snacks before. We talked to our patients about very similar snacks. This time I'm going to focus it a little bit more on that mood boosting. So eggs. Eggs are a weight loss superfood. They are a mood boosting superfood because they not only have tryptophan, they have choline, biotin, all these things that are really powerful for overall health, brain, bone function. So eggs, although they've had bad raps from cholesterol, 20 years ago, eggs are so bad, they have so much cholesterol, or, the autoimmune people that say that eggs are an inflammatory food. Eggs are actually, an egg white is the closest biologically protein, closest to our protein that we build in our own body. So egg whites are huge in terms of good for us sources.
Now, Stephanie, I think there are a lot of people in the audience that are going to ask, do we eat primarily egg whites as a snack, or is it okay to include the yolks? I think that's a common question.
That's a good question too. And it kind of depends. So if your snack is just a hard-boiled egg, absolutely eat the yolk. If you're making eggs, say you're making an omelet and you want to make maybe like a 3-4 egg omelet, I would say maybe that you use one yolk so that you get that healthy fat in there, and then the rest of your substance is going to come from the egg white, because an egg white is like 17 calories, so all of the calories, like 50 of the calories, is coming from that fat. So if we include one of those yolks and not all 4 of them, then we're saving in fat and calories, but we're still getting the healthy fat. So ideally, if your snack would be a hard-boiled egg and maybe a cup of berries, you get all of that tryptophan, healthy fat, protein from the hard-boiled egg. And then that cup of berries is going to be the fiber-containing carbohydrate full of antioxidants, which is great for our overall health. So going along those lines, I said, red meat. So meat has tryptophan. And cheese has tryptophan. So a light string cheese or a regular string cheese, maybe 50 to 80 calories, protein, there's some healthy fat in there. But again, you want to pair that with maybe an apple, or eating it with something that allows you to have that carbohydrate to boost our energy, because our brain, our red blood cells, we need carbs. But it has fiber, so it promotes that longevity of fullness.
Now, does it matter whether it is an actual like egg white from an egg versus, I know that they sell cartons that actually have egg whites in them?
No, it does. No, I actually do the egg white carton because I think it's more cost efficient. It also, there's a longer shelf life on egg whites. And I know it sounds kind of gross and crazy to buy egg whites out of a carton. However, there's nothing bad about it in terms of packaging or additives or anything. So I think it's a better bang for your buck and for like longevity of it to do the egg whites in the carton, but there's really no difference. Yeah. So another snack, and I'll post all of these ideas kind of on the Facebook so you know what I'm talking about, but salmon. So not necessarily a red meat, but it is full of tryptophan, has that really healthy fat, those omega-3s, high in protein. So doing maybe smoked salmon, so you can buy smoked salmon really anywhere at this point, kind of in that deli section. You get maybe 2 ounces of smoked salmon. I like to cut a cucumber really thin, like almost like a mandolin, like making like thin strips of the long ways of a cucumber. Put my salmon in there, spread some hummus, and then roll it up, kind of like a salmon cucumber hummus wrap. You can do the same with turkey. So you can replace the salmon with the turkey, which very high in tryptophan, with even cream cheese instead of the hummus. So you can do a strip of cucumber, which serves as your carbohydrate fiber containing carb. Your hummus would serve as a healthy fat, or the salmon healthy fat and protein. Your turkey breast would serve as your protein, or reduced fat Greek yogurt type of cream cheese would also add some kind of flavor. So again, you want to make sure that you're pairing your protein, fat, and your carbs, but if you're looking for kind of mood enhancing, you look for things that are a little bit higher in tryptophan, like turkey and salmon and eggs and that kind of thing. So many options. So how else do I boost serotonin besides the food I eat? Definitely healthy diet, but also exercise and sunshine. So again, working out, getting out there, being active, exercising is going to release serotonin naturally, as well as sunlight. So there's a lot of research that suggests that light therapy is a very optimistic or positive kind of treatment for really bad seasonal depression or depression in general, this light therapy. So that kind of also proves that light, getting out in the sunshine, vitamin D, is also really good for our mood as well. And before I open it up for questions, I do want to say that during this time, I think that weight maintenance and, maybe not weight loss should be our 100% focus, but that weight maintenance component, or just focusing on overall stress reduction. And overall stress reduction comes from quality sleep, a healthy diet, and being active. So all the things that we talk about that also aid in weight loss are also positives for stress reduction. Another thing for stress reduction is also just like caving to that craving. So don't forbid anything. When we forbid food items or snacks or things, we want them more. It's just like that you always want what you can't have. So when we create that kind of mentality surrounding food, we kind of want it more. So I always say, allow yourself that craving. So for me, I love sugar. I wish I didn't love sugar as much as I do. And I particularly love gummy candy. So I get the Mott's fruit snacks. Yes, they're completely empty, 80 calories. I'm fully aware of that. However, it makes me really happy at night after dinner when I need something sweet to have one pack of fruit snacks. So yes, I do it maybe daily. Maybe it's not the best habit. You can make this a weekly thing. But I also think just like really allowing yourself and forgiving yourself things that bring joy. Fruit snacks bring me a lot of joy and I want to eat them. So doing it in a controlled way where it's not like I, buy a whole bag of Swedish fish and I can eat the whole thing in one sitting, that would be a problem. Whereas the fruit snacks are individual portion sizes. So it doesn't really, I'd have to literally get up and open another pack to have more than kind of a serving size. And then again, if you feel like snacking is a problem is when we are here to help you in terms of any kind of advice. If you're like, why can't I stay out of the closet? I keep going to the closet. I know my mom says this about my dad all the time. Where's my husband? Oh, he's in the closet. What is he looking for? And it's like, what are we really looking for in there? Boredom. A lot of times it's out of boredom. So I like to say, put a sticky note on that cabinet, stay out. Or maybe it's the inside when you open it up and that box of Cheez-Its has a picture of J-Lo's abs. And you're like, actually, I don't want those Cheez-Its. I want those abs. And you walk out. So there's all these kind of tips that if you feel like your snacking is a problem, then let's talk about it. Otherwise, let's plan for snacking and making it a part of a healthy diet.
Katie asked, do you meal prep your snacks?
Oh, but yes, normally I do. So when I'm working and, you're working that really long hours, 12-hour days, you absolutely should meal prep and pack your snacks in advance. I like to buy like the giant bag of beef jerky at Costco and individually portion 1 to 2 ounces with my 10 to 15 almonds and, a little cup or half a cup of berries in a plastic container 5 different times so that in the morning when I'm packing my lunch up, all I have to put together maybe is my lunch or just all of these moving parts that are already prepared for me. So yes, great question.
And you can always go to Sam's Club or Costco. We like to buy the veggie tray that already has cut up vegetables because hey, guess what? We're lazy. And just actually getting the cutting board out and trying to cut all of those vegetables can be really daunting. So we just pay the extra, couple bucks for it to get pre-cut.
Yes,
so
definitely. A lot of those time-saving things or the carrots that already come in individual portions. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're going to spend a little bit more money, but I feel like I don't waste as much when I spend more for the time that someone else puts into it.
Totally. This is a great topic for those of you who are in the Zoom meeting. Why don't you guys pop either in the chat or open up for discussion? Because this is a really, really important topic because we want to talk about, what are your triggers? What are your time weaknesses? Again, usually it's anywhere from that 3 o'clock-ish time, which is kind of hits people. And then of course the nighttime thing and let's help someone explore how to sort of overcome some of these triggers and habits that we have. Yes, I'm glad you brought up that snacking is okay. I think, and again, we're not necessarily in a war between, fasting versus snacking and whatnot, but Stephanie brought up a great point about snacking, having fuel for your body, but also avoiding deprivation, because that's really just bringing back the emotion of, maybe childhood where your mom said, no, you can't have that. And it just, then it causes kind of this spiral of brain emotions.
Yeah.
So Colleen says 5 p.m. for sure, close to dinner time, but not quite ready. So before this classic countered it with broccoli. Oh yeah.
That's a great idea. super full of fiber. Broccoli you can go no wrong with broccoli, besides the smell, I suppose. But yeah, absolutely.
Yes. 5 o'clock is a really hard time too, because it's kind of right around where people are getting off of work,
Yeah.
and it's just like you are like 100 miles per hour, but then you're just like so exhausted, but then hungry at the same
And I
time.
think a good point of that is I know that that's me. Like right when I'm done with work, I'm like, oh, I'm so hungry. So I keep a Premier protein shake in my car like all the time, or like a protein bar, so that on my way home from work, I'm not tempted to like go by the gas station and get a Snickers bar, or go through Starbucks and get a giant, Starbucks drink. So keeping that, again, planning your snacks, so protein bar, protein drink in your car, because they're non-perishable, that's a good resource to say, oh my God, I'm so hungry, it's 5 o'clock and I need something.
Now, Emily asked, what protein bars do you recommend?
Yeah, so I was actually so later today I'm gonna put together, me and Noah actually went through King Supers and literally went through every single protein bar. So I have
Awesome.
there's a few different utilizations for them. Overall, my favorite bar, personally, is the Quest bar, but there's only a few flavors. They all taste differently. So the Quest bar, because of the macros, they're about 180 to 200 calories. They have about 20 grams of protein, 20 grams of carb, very low fat, and they're full of fiber. It is fake fiber, so sometimes you get that GI distress. Another one that I'm really loving is Oregon Clean Protein makes a plant-based protein bar, and I'll put this all on Facebook as well. But theirs is, I think, only 140 calories, only 10 grams of protein, but it's all generally natural ingredients. So it kind of depends what you're looking for, right? Very few ingredients. The RX bar is good. If it's for an after workout, definitely a Quest bar. And then there's always those like Epic Meat Bar, which is a very low processed natural protein bar. So it's a very broad topic and subject to kind of dive into. But overall, I would say personally, I buy the Quest bars.
That's awesome. It looks like Nicole does kale chips for her snack, which is fantastic. And Terry actually brought up a good point. So, a lot of us do have kind of our triggers right around that 3 to 5 p.m., but a ton of people have their triggers at 8 p.m., which tends to be more of like that sweets craving. So what kind of safe, sweet type of snacks can we eat at nighttime?
Kelly actually just put this in the topic that she loves chocolate, and it's funny because it just dawned on me. So there's a new product. I don't know if anyone's seen it. They have a dark chocolate hummus now, and it is so good with apples and strawberries. So for me, that is a very satisfying sweet treat, because the hummus has a ton of protein and fat, which is good for us. My go-to though for a sweet is flavored non-fat Greek yogurt. So I absolutely love like this salted caramel, Light and Fit, or the ones that are kind of cherry cheesecake. So I like to use yogurt in substitution for like an ice cream at night for that sweet thing. But also another kind of thing, if it's middle of the day, maybe you have a bag of sugar-free Jolly Ranchers and that's your answer for something sweet, So it kind of depends to where you are, what you're doing.
Yes, and I want to remind people, particularly in the nighttime, sometimes it's actually the speed of how you eat your snack too, because truly the trigger is actually this anxiousness at nighttime. And so you want to pick certain foods where you can just, quote, treat yourself, but don't eat like my dog Lucky used to eat, where I don't even know if he even ate it. He didn't even like taste it type of thing. And you would keep asking for more and more. For us, if you're going to have like a yogurt, just like it's almost like a really taste and slow yourself down, and then allow your sort of like your full signals to come on so that you feel that satisfaction and not spiral into that out of control feeling like some of us at nighttime. Nicole has tried the chocolate hummus, and she says her kids totally love it.
Yeah,
So.
and like it is easy to make. Hummus is something you can absolutely make yourself too.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I it's a little time intensive, so I buy it, but absolutely can make it and adapt it. So you can put, cinnamon in there, make it vanilla, or take a total different spin on it and make it. I recently bought the Thai coconut curry one, and that is really good.
Nice. Colleen asked, do you still meal prep while working from home?
Great question. No, I do not. So I don't necessarily set all these things out. I still have them all. Like I have my yogurts, I have my beef jerky and the nuts and all that. I think my idea of meal prepping working from home is being able to take already washed and mixed up lettuce, put it in a bowl, and like opening my packet of tuna and putting it on there. So generally still kind of keeping it easy so I don't feel like I need to meal prep right now. I also love to cook, and it's been years since I've had time to cook dinner at night. And I feel like that's been a very cool and positive thing about having all this time to ourselves. And I know it feels like a discouraging time to focus on ourselves or our overall health or nutrition, but I don't know that there's a better time to be able to focus on nutrition and what you're putting in. We can't socialize. Our neighbors aren't bringing in homemade cookies. We just can't do a lot of that stuff. So I do feel like, yeah, maybe this isn't our normal routine, but to really get in that habit of like, maybe I should try a few meal prep recipes for when I can go back to work. I know that they're going to really work for me. So kind of playing around with that time that you have now, that can lead you up to success when we get back to our real lives as well too.
Yep. And Colleen, obviously when we were first, kind of shoved to working from home, we were just like, heads cut off type of feeling. But now that we're into the 4th week, I at least mentally know, okay, Tuesday, this is what I eat for lunch on Tuesdays. So instead of actually always meal prepping in my head, I already know I'm going to eat some of the same things over and over, at least for breakfast and lunch, and then dinner is routine at least Monday through Thursday, and then that's when I have a little bit more fun and pizzazz on Friday and Saturday. So that will be helpful when it comes to just not having so much structure working from home type of thing.
Yeah.
Terry asked, where can you buy the chocolate hummus?
So Walmart is where I found it most recently. It's kind of in that like the deli section where they have like where they make hummus or where they make like guacamole and that kind of stuff. It's more in that section, but I know King Soopers has it as well.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, and then I don't know if I mentioned it, but when I talk about deli turkey, it could be a very slippery slope because deli meats are very high in sodium. So when you're looking for deli meat, specifically turkey, getting it from the actual deli counter and I guess now, are they even doing that? But having them when times are the same, having them actually cut it for you. So that's going to be a little bit more natural. Like the Boar's Head, my favorite, growing up on the East Coast, favorite deli brand. Boar's Head has a no salt added, which you can get cut at the counter. So that's going to be a really great option because there's really no salt added. It's just the natural salt. And then Applegate, which you can find in the prepackaged sections, is an organic brand. So their deli turkey has like no nitrates, no sugar. That's another good one to get. So not all deli turkeys are made the same. So I should kind of say that.
Okay. Stephanie, let's talk briefly about another favorite snack, smart popcorn.
Yes.
How do we know? Because it's kind of like protein bars, right? There's a ton of different brands, but are they really smart? Like, the Boom Chicka Wow, whatever. How do you know which, popcorn is safe?
Yeah. So obviously I'm going to start by saying, personally, you should always aim to get the individual portion bags because yes, popcorn is a low calorie snack. You can have like 3 cups for 100 calories if you're getting the right kind. But, 3 cups, if we're making it ourselves or adding butter, or where is that coming from? So Skinny Pop is my favorite brand. And now they make flavors. So if you're going to do the flavored, I would also stick to the individual bags. So yeah, it's a good snack. The thing I will say though about popcorn, it's kind of empty calories. as well. Yeah, there's like some fiber, there's some things in there. It's made from corn, so it's maybe better for us. But if we're not pairing our, 100-calorie bag of Skinny Pop with maybe a handful of almonds or a string cheese or something, then really that popcorn is going to serve the same purpose as if you just ate like a cookie. Like, yeah, you're not going to have like the insane amount of sugar rush, but it's not a fullness promoting snack. It's a great snack if we're kind of utilizing it in the right setting.
Very good. Yep. And again, if you have children, I'm teaching Haley to always eat out of a bowl and not a bag. So, that's a hack in itself to just really make sure that you just know exactly what portion that you're eating, because she could probably eat the whole bag if I let her. Yes. So, all right, you guys, these are a ton of great questions. This is awesome. I love it. Anybody else have any other questions? This is like, your chance to get all the hacks you can, because like I said, it is definitely a weakness that we all experience. But when you do it in a smart and strategic way, then it actually works to your advantage. So,
Stephanie, I have a question for you. So would the popcorn be like your gummy packet snacks? Like, would you consider that as like your late night snack rather than like a snack at 10 a.m. or 3 p.m. to get you through the day?
100%. Yeah.
Okay. Because I love popcorn.
Yeah. Have this at 10 a.m. Have it with almonds and maybe a string cheese, like I mentioned, because again, just kind of that empty carbohydrate calories. Not that carbs are bad, but they could not serve us a whole lot of purpose.
Exactly. Thank you.
Nice. Awesome. Anybody else have any other questions? All right, you guys, this was really probably one of my favorite talks because, like I said, this is definitely a very common weakness. But like I said, if you just are smart about it, understand why you need the snack, really differentiate between, is it truly to just help curb your appetite and really keep that hunger under control, and differentiate it truly versus like, I'm stressed or I'm having a bad day. We really want to kind of just really dissect those feelings, and but also have a good healthy relationship with food, because you do not need to deprive yourself if you're truly hungry, and allow yourself sort of the good tasting foods that will work for you. So Stephanie, you are amazing as always. Don't forget to pop your questions. I know that people kind of think about, oh, I meant to ask this, and Stephanie was going to post up some things too, but like I said, we're here.
I talked about.
Yeah, we're here for you guys. For those of you out in Facebook land, I know you guys are just hanging in there. It is a stressful time. We've been talking with a lot of our patients, and we want to make sure that you feel supported. So direct everybody to denverweightlossclinic.com. The MedFit team have been just super busy, really, taking care of our patients, because we know it's 4th week, we're sinking in, but we can get through this together. So you guys are awesome. And then tomorrow we've got Katie up, our expert fitness trainer, and she's going to help us with exercise and how to make it a habit, and really, how to stay active during this sort of stay-at-home order. So thanks again, you guys. This has been amazing. Don't forget to post your questions, and we'll see you again same time tomorrow at 11. All right. Thanks, Stephanie.
Guys.
Thank you.
See you later.